I haven't updated my LinkedIn profile in a few months, and it is time. So today I'm bringing you along for the ride. I'm about to point out 5 different ways that you can optimize your LinkedIn profile for what is working right now. This is gonna be fun. Let's do it. I'm Phil Pallen, a brand strategist. Welcome to my channel where I promise practical advice to build your brand. Today we're talking all about LinkedIn, strategies for this platform that are ever evolving. Advice that I was giving you 3 years ago is very different from the advice that I'll give you today. So let's dive in, shall we? Right before that, I recommend downloading my freebie, LinkedIn Tips for Beginners. This is a simple one sheet that points out a few action steps that you can take to improve your profile. I'll go into even more detail on these today. Totally free, my gift to you, my way of saying thanks for hanging out with me today. I want to start by looking at these items that people see first on your profile. They play a huge role in people even finding you in the first place. Yes, we'll talk about visuals, but I need to talk about this text right here. It's super important. This is considered your headline, and I think it's important to just revisit this little excerpt of text to make sure that it accurately reflects and describes what you're passionate about and what you're focused on right now. So for me, there is a huge missing piece. There wasn't a year ago, but since I updated this, I've gone much more into talking about AI. In this particular moment in time, I've got 3 keynote speeches already booked to talk about AI for small businesses. So I definitely need to update my LinkedIn profile to reflect this update or evolution in my own career. So much of what I talk about on the internet is achieving consistency between the in-person experience and the online version of you. That's what we are talking about today, quite literally. So this right here needs to be updated. Instead of this, I'm gonna make some modifications. There we go. I'll click save. Brand strategist and keynote speaker who helps people grow profitable businesses through branding and AI tools. That is me. And I feel a lot better about this updated headline. Great, we've got our headline updated, looking great. What's next? Your visuals above the fold. When I say above the fold, it means all of the visual components that you see before I have to scroll down, okay? The truth is, I have neglected my LinkedIn profile. I don't spend nearly as much time here as I do on Instagram, YouTube, and other social media platforms. My profile photo has stayed the same, but one of the things I do like is that I have a video profile photo, right? So it's not just the photo, but I took some extra time to create a vertical video that looks pretty awesome, telling people who I am and what I do. However, I am not that thrilled with this image up here, which highlights some of the biggest press articles that I have been featured in. This used to be a huge focus of mine, get in big publications and be quoted as an expert. Nowadays, I care a little bit less about this because it's something that I've already ticked off my list, and I'm much more focused on booking paid keynote speeches. So, as I sit here and evaluate my goals, my brand and focuses evolve in real life, so should that evolution happen online. And I'm going to update this photo to a photo of me speaking. I will find the most captivating, attention-grabbing photo that I have, and I think this one is it, of me on stage. Let's refresh the profile, and there we go. That feels a lot more exciting to me. I realize the photo doesn't give the full context of what I'm doing on stage or what I'm saying, but hopefully it grabs people's attention and reels them in to understand and learn more about me. That profile's looking pretty good, and more importantly, it reflects my career goals right now. What are your goals right now for your career? That is what I want you to keep thinking about as we move through each section. Next, your LinkedIn summary. At least that's what I call it, but LinkedIn actually calls it your About section, and it's right here. So you don't have a ton of customization options here, which means I've taken some liberty, like adding some different font styles using a website like simple as this, Font Changer. There are no formatting issues, so if I want to add a section called Keynotes, I can choose through all different types of symbol type fonts here, which are going to show up for me without having any formatting settings. So I'll find the style that I like that one, pop back over, and I'd like to add a section right before contact, which goes into more detail on my keynote presentations. I wrote this ahead of time, so I'm just going to paste it now. Now adding some bullet points, and I'm happy with how that's looking. I'm gonna add one more section. Again, something here I wrote ahead of time that I can copy and paste. And there we go, that is looking great to me. I have a whole other video that talks about how to write your LinkedIn summary. That video has done very well, and I will link to that somewhere on the screen. It's a few years old, but I still think it is relevant if this is a section you're wanting to update in a little bit more of a creative way. Very happy with how this is looking so far. Next, let's add some proof of concept. That's what I'm calling this hidden little section of your profile that I bet you're not optimizing yet. Yes, I've certainly started to optimize this section of my profile, which is called featured, but LinkedIn has more recently added some more functionality here that I think is definitely worth your while to pay attention to. For example, creating a newsletter on LinkedIn is a great way to grow your reach subscribers on this platform, and it's relatively easy, as well as adding articles, links, media, and even a post. This is a great idea. I'll look through here to find a post that I think is something that I would be proud to have on my profile. Maybe I'll feature this blog post. That's looking good, and what I should really do right now is beef this up a little bit. Up to this point, I only had one link. Fine, focusing on the speaker reel, but I'm really inspired by my friend Neil Schaefer. Maybe you've heard of him online. He's very, very popular in social media and online marketing. I like how he has these three sections: a newsletter, an image, possibly for a freebie here, as well as a link, a video link to learn more about him. He is a good example of someone who is using this featured section well. Finally, I want to address what I think is the most important part of your LinkedIn profile, and I bet it's not what you think. Okay, now this one's gonna be tough to update right now. You'll see why in a moment, but this is real estate on your LinkedIn profile that often gets forgotten about. When I talk about endorsements, you might think that's the same as a testimonial or a recommendation. It is not. That falls under skills here, endorse. So those are individually endorsed skills, okay? That is not the same as recommendations. This is arguably the most important part of your LinkedIn profile. These come from other people, which is why I can't update this myself. But what I can do is make a point of adding into my calendar once a week, ask someone in my circle, in my community, or in my, my reach. It could be clients I'm working with. It could also be, for example, right now I'm working on some keynote presentations. It could be clients that I've recently delivered a keynote for. It's very important to ask people for recommendations. Think of this similarly to getting a testimonial. However, when you see a testimonial on a website, it's hard to know if that testimonial was written by that person or if it was just created by the person whose website it's on. Whereas on LinkedIn, this is the kind of thing you can't make up, right? So under recommendations, I have received 91 recommendations. This is the first place that I send people if they're considering hiring me or potentially even contracting me to deliver a keynote. So you'll see here, I have lots of recommendations, but the truth is some of these are not recent. 2020, okay, that's pretty old. My most recent one is May 2023, not that bad, but I really need to make a point of adding in some more recent recommendations. Now, if you're wanting to know how to request these, you can simply go to someone's profile, click more, and click this, request a recommendation. I recommend that here you fill in the relationship as well as the position at that time and include a personalized message. As with testimonials, it's always a good idea to tell people exactly what it is you're looking for in return, even to give some sample sentences on things that they might want to say. Make it as easy as possible for that other person that you're asking a big favor for to take some time to give you a recommendation. And I'm back on my profile. It's definitely great to be able to send people to this spot on my profile to just verify that I am in fact an expert and someone that people might want to work with. Well, we have made some headway together on our LinkedIn profiles. I hope that you found this video helpful. If you've enjoyed this video, give it a like. That helps other people discover these videos, which we work hard to create for you. And subscribe for more of my videos on branding, positioning, building, and promoting your brand. Next, I'm sharing a few videos I think you'll be interested in, all about LinkedIn that I've talked about before. I'm Pallen. Thanks for watching. Those are coming up next.